Hi guys, all right, welcome back. We are here with a Waldorf Blofeld desktop synthesizer today. Um, I recently purchased this off eBay, and it's in good working condition. I had to replace the power supply. It didn't actually come with one, but I've given it a good test in the studio, and everything works great. I updated the firmware. Um, the only issue I have with it is this volume pot is a little wobbly. Now it works fine, but it's just wobbly. And so I want to see if we can replace it. I have a feeling that it's the same potentiometer that is used in the Axis virus line of synths. It's just, I've seen photos of it online, and it really looks like this pot, which would be great because then we can just swap it out today. So at any rate, let's go ahead and get this unit opened up and take a look at it and see what we can figure out here. First thing I'm going to do is flip it over. I'm going to leave the knobs on until I get the screws out, just in case anything slips. So we've got 4 screws, and let's get a little place to put our screws. I've actually already opened this up, so I kind of have an idea of what's going on in here, but it wouldn't make much of a video if we didn't go from start to finish. So this plate's going to come right off, and it's going to reveal the insides. And so what we've got now, we've got these screws, and then we've got these posts that need to come out so we can get the main board out. Now, the trick with this unit, and which is almost unbelievable, if you look here, power port soldered to the board with naked wires, not even shielded, which is, it's pretty insane. I honestly don't know what Waldorf was thinking. Well, before we do anything else, though, let's go ahead and get our knobs off. I should have taken them off before. Let's put one screw back in, just so things don't go flying here, and take our knobs off. Now, I'll note that the volume pot looks the same, but it's different than all the others. If you look closely, you can see that if I can pick them up here, the one on the right, the black bit, is not as recessed as the one on the left. So this one's recessed, this one's not. Okay, this is the really fun part. Yeah, the way the way this power port, it's impossible to deal with this unit because of that. You could desolder it, I guess. I really don't want to do that. I'm just going to work around it. I'm going to use this screwdriver and I'll show you what I'm going to do. You'll see. But I'm just going to get this free. You kind of have to get this free anyways to get the board out. It's just a really crazy design, to be honest with you. And I'm always keeping it on the wood because I don't want to put pressure on these pots. Just need to get the right angle on this piece here. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, so this has to be completely pulled out before I can lift the board out. And even then, it's tricky to get this board out. It's really, and it's even trickier to get it back in. You kind of just got to keep working at it and wiggling and see what the problem. These pots are long, lights. I'm grounded, so don't worry about me. This mat's an anti-static mat, so, and I'm not touching, never touch the components. There we go. Had to get the audio out. And then one more maneuver here. There's one more pot that needs to kind of break free. There we go. Okay. Now, I want to be very careful. So, yeah, we can go ahead and swap it out. Now, the challenge is working with this stupid board and the way it's set up with this plug that I don't want to like desolder. So I'm just going to have to like work with this one. I don't know. I'm going to have to see if I can do something like this, maybe. Yeah, I mean, this isn't ideal, but I can't really show you. But there's just a little connector, a little component right here that the metal case is resting on just fine, and I should be able to do all my work here and get this pot swapped out. So let's give it a go. So first things first, let's get our wick going and let's desolder. We need alcohol, we need swabs. Let's just go ahead and desolder this. I normally would bust out the exhaust fan, but not for just one pot. So I'm going to suck away what I can from these and then bury those, which is my normal way to get these out. Always clean our tip. And then, you know what, I'm gonna kind of overflux this a little bit. Swimming in flux just makes it a little easier. Let's clean while it's cooling. That's a good way to cool it and not waste time. All right. We're gonna have to do this. Put a little bit back on just so it flows. I can't get a good grip on it. There, it's coming. I can hear it. All right, we got it a little bit. Let's just chill. Yeah. All right, what we need to do. Just need to lift things up. I just can't get an angle on it. That's the problem. And same thing on this. I'm just going to put a little teeny bit on. Put a little bit back. so it flows. There we go. Let it cool. Now we can go the other. You just walk it out, right? Little by little. When it starts to squeak like that, it's ready to go. Get it flowing. It should come all the way now. That should be it. And then same on this side. Flow. Okay. Anchor's out. What a pain. Now, let's leave it up. So the next thing we want to do, and people always kind of struggle with these pins. It's like, what do you do? Holy moly, how do you get, how do you desolder one and the other? And you don't. You just bury them. Just absolutely bury them with solder. Make it into one giant blob. It's the best way I found to get these out, is to do this. Just a ridiculous amount of solder. All right, and then flow the whole thing. And just kind of wiggle until it falls out. Yeah, cool. Looks like we got it all. What I hate when you pull these little holes is if you don't get all of it, it's a nightmare. You want to get all of it. And we can see that I believe we got all of it. Let's clean and see what we're looking at, because I'm not exactly sure we got all of them. I want to quick take another look at the, just take a look at this side and make sure we didn't get any goo leaking through. And the one hole is a little tight. So this one is a little, I mean, I can see the light coming through, but it's a little tight. We have a nice little trick for these. You can buy these little mini screwdriver or drill bit sets. They're super tiny. And I'm just going to get a really small one and just make this hole a little bit bigger. You can just keep stepping up in the drill bit size. I want to take a quick look at the other side of the board again. I'm just making sure we don't have any flux or anything. Sorry, this is a weapon flashlight, and that's what it does. So we got a little flux we need to clean up on this side. Again, this is really like I would normally. It's really unorthodox because of the way they did that power port. I really don't want to unsolder a power port and then have to, mess with soldering it back on. It'd be super annoying. We had a little flux come through on this side. I'm just going to clean it up. So it's very little. But I prefer to keep things clean. I can see we got a little stickiness on this side as well, so let's just continue. Like I said, the thing with flux, it just kind of goes all over the place unless you mop it up. Okay. So let's get our new part in. And well, I usually do this the other way, but let's see what we can do here. Yeah. Try to be very careful. I don't want to touch the SP. I don't want to touch anything. Okay. That's our new part. I actually want to put pressure on that now. I want to keep that in place. I want to make sure it's in all the way. Okay. Magnifying glass. And let's go. All right, so we want to clean up our flux residue that's left behind from soldering. It's minimal, but there's some there because all the solder comes with flux in it. You just don't want to leave it on the board. You want a nice clean job. Oops, don't let that go everywhere. I did want to let it flow in between the pins there. I've had it happen where it can be conductive sometimes. I had it happen on a virus where I was working on it last week and put it all back together and it kept booting into diagnostic mode. And I was like, what the heck's going on? Why are you doing this? But it's because I had flux residue between some of the pins and it was just like not happy about it. What's going to be tricky now, I need to get this back out. I'm going to go ahead and get my wood pieces again, lift her back up. Okay. First thing I want to do again, I got to get this power port or power switch back out. So it's really easy to get out. You just push on a little clip on this side, push it out, and then push on a little clip on this side. Now this is always fun, getting it back in. It's never as simple as it should be. And you just kind of got to just keep playing with it until you get it to go. And this is going to be a frustrating little process here. I can tell you right now. Well, that actually was a lot less frustrating than I thought. Everything looks good there. The annoying thing is that these audio ports and the USB port, they don't quite line up right unless you put a little pressure on the board, push it up this way. Otherwise, you're putting a lot of pressure on these once you tighten it. And also, the screw holes won't fit, so it's just the way it's got to be. There's an episode of The Walking Dead, I think it's called The Way It's Gotta Be. Good episode. Okay, so let's get our posts in. I'm going to go ahead and put the long post in while that power switch is out of the way. That's going to make it a lot easier. And when you put these in, you want to do these pretty tight. Tighter than I would normally do, because otherwise, if you don't do the posts tight, when it comes time to put the plate back on and put those screws on and you undo those screws, it undoes the posts instead of undoing the screws. And it just makes it a mess to take apart. Okie dokie. Our non-wobbly volume pot. So let's put all these, this is the one that's volume. All right. Moment of truth, y'all. Dun, 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 dun. Always a good sign when it turns back on. We like that. And we got volume. Perfect. A nice, clean repair. And we learned a little something. It's good to know. We have pots for the Blofeld synthesizer. Only volume. These are different. These are all very, very different encoders. I don't know what they are. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Kind of a short one. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.